Good evening, everyone. Welcome to Whose Online Is It Anyway, where everything's made up and the facts don't matter. And we are going to do our best impression of a leftoid for you in 3, 2, 1. What the hell? Oh, man. I thought they were flipping out when he was just thinking about buying twatter.
Oh, no. He handled that like a boss, too, because...
Yes, he did.
He did. He was a smooth operator through the whole process. He knew exactly what he needed to do. He just had better lawyers.
Well, no. What's happening now is Twitter, up until it was purchased, it was supposed to do a earnings report.
Mm-hmm.
And a word on the street is the earnings for Twitter were going to miss expectations, and then the stock would drop even more.
What else is new?
And the board, literally the board who ran Twitter owned somewhere around 8,000 shares total between everyone. And they're really making, decisions for what the fuck? They were literally looking at being on the hook for like $20 billion in liability.
I think they made out like bandits.
Yeah.
But before we get too deep into it, how you doing, everybody? I'm Toxic Male. It's Terrence Pop, and we have, back by popular demand, Senior Airman Richard Fitzwell, the man, the myth, the legend himself.
And he's chilling in Florida.
Present.
One of the only free states left in the Union, man.
Yeah. You should and that Disney acquisitions down here is actually kind of taking a flame here, like gasoline to a match. It's hilarious.
What's going on
here? It's just a lovely composition of liberal madness. It is.
Tax the rich. Okay, fine. We're going to take these special privileges away from Disney and give you $200 more million in taxes. How does that sound? Come on.
Well, that also exempts them from their sovereignty, so you know what that means. Building codes.
They have the EPA, building codes.
EPA, building codes.
You know what, though?
I would say it's a huge, huge loss for Disney now, because Disney, I guess anything that fell under eminent domain with Disney now is under review.
Oh,
it's going to be glorious.
It's going to be good. I mean, they're losing money hand over balled up, child-touching fist down there. So It's only going to get worse for them. It's all their own fault.
They did it to them fucking selves. Motherfuckers.
Yeah, it is. I mean, as far as any more information into it, I imagine there would be some significant gag order on it, because Disney, suffering that huge embarrassment after their exposure of 6 employees being found guilty of, pedophilia.
Well, they've actually
lots more than that.
They've been having people arrested on that campus for that kind of shit for the past 15 years.
Yeah, every year for the past 12 years minimum, they have had somebody working for Disney get snagged for,
grooming.
Embracing their inner Fresh Prince of Smell hair.
Yeah. In other words, they're a card-carrying Mambla member.
Yeah, pretty much.
Oh, my God. So, hey, let's do an inventory.
Oh, shit.
What do we got?
It's amazing how, on one side of the coin, you go to jail. The other side of the coin, you get installed as president. It's amazing how this works.
Yeah.
All right. How's everyone doing tonight? We got 45 currently watching over on Twitch, 46 on D-Live, 63 on Odyssey, 368 on Rumble and climbing, 525 on YouTube, and 29 on MGTOW.tv. Senior Airman Fitzwell in the house. Everybody knows that those numbers are going to go up.
Yeah.
But the most important story of the day, it's not Disney.
Oh, no.
It's not Elon Musk buying twatter. It is an almost 2-year-old story, and it's all your fault.
I know, I did it.
Johnny Vegas shit in a Pringles can at a comedy gig.
You started this, Pop.
Dude, listen, I did not start it. I told the guy not to fall asleep in Ranger School, or I'd mail him a Pringles can full of shit. He fell asleep, so I sent him the goddamn shit.
You know how Joes talk amongst each other. Say, hey, did you listen to that one dude that shit in a Pringles can or threatened a guy to shit in a Pringles can? Oh, yeah. You know how twisted and out of proportion this gets, so I'm blaming you.
It's all your fault, man.
You are patient zero in all of this. This is an epidemic.
Can you imagine?
Patient zero.
All right, so apparently this caused like a huge row with the people who worked there.
Yeah, I guess, what was the deal here? So I wasn't having a good one. I wasn't a good one for having a patter. Once you were in there and the audience came in, there was no toilet. There was nowhere to go. Okay. So he didn't want to risk being seen by the audience, so he was forced to get creative. And he said this guy working with him, an Irish comedian named Tommy Tiernan, had a Pringles tube. I guess they called it tube over in Britain or wherever. And I just had to have his shit in that. But then not wanting it to smell, I folded it down so it looked like one of the fun-size single packs. I just put the lid on. His plan to discreetly dispose of the poo-filled box of crisps, they call them crisps over there, ended in chaos after he forgot to bin it before going on stage. And he said, I do remember I got in about 5 in the morning and then going, oh, I left it in there. Somebody's going to go in and go, ooh, I wonder if there's one in the bottom. They might have left a few. That'll tide me over. It's all your fault, Pop.
Now, okay.
You started it, Pop.
Now, just imagine. All right, so the tube of crap gets sent to he was an E3 in the Navy. It was E4, Anglico. And those guys handle indirect fire, naval gunfire, and stuff like that. But he was out on ship, and he was due to return like 4 or 5 weeks. So they don't take the mail and send it to him. They just keep it back until his ship makes port.
Gotcha.
So that can sat there,
festered,
and then because it wasn't plastic, it oozed through, got on all kinds of mail, turned it into a goddamn.
It's a biohazard, man.
That's exactly what it was.
You see, now these days you'd be arrested for that, for biohazard.
Yeah, wow.
For shipping an unauthorized biological through the U.S. Postal Service.
Yeah.
And
there is that, yeah.
And what's already incriminating is that Pringles can that's sitting on your fucking desk right there.
What are you talking about?
Maybe there's a couple left in the bottom.
Hey, man. I'm just saying.
It's not like we did a whole music video about this or anything.
Oh, dude. And, like, my commander was on the phone with, like, the port commander. And they were ready to serve me up until I let it slip that it might have been a grudge left over from Ranger School. And then it went from, like, a 10 to a 2. Boom. So, like, oh, it's a Ranger School thing. Okay.
Oh, okay. Got it.
All right. Well, make sure, just punish him. So this is bullshit.
Speaking of which, it's Taco Tuesday, and I feel one coming. Can I have a Pringles can?
Oh my God! But yeah, I'm just saying that was a very interesting day. Very interesting.
Yeah, well, you've had some very interesting moments, that's for sure. We've had ours in the 425, that's for sure.
Yeah, how many jumps you and I do together?
A lot.
I don't know, man. Whew. You're on my team for what, 3 years?
Oh, longer than that.
Okay.
Since 97. And then 99, you took platoon leader or platoon sergeant.
Uh-huh.
And then after that, they moved you from first to third, and you abandoned me in first.
Sorry. I'm sorry. What do you, I had no choice in the matter.
Yeah.
But you were leaving anyway.
Yeah. You owe me a steak dinner for that one. Yeah.
All right.
You do.
Fair enough.
I'm not going to let that go because that hurt.
I got you. Steak dinner.
Yeah, next time you're in town, we can all do a steak dinner.
No, he's going to come to Florida and buy me a steak dinner with shrimp.
Well, that's happening next month, so there you go.
Yeah,
I'm planning to come down there for the CME with Donovan Sharp.
Yep. Speaking of which, he's going to be on the show Thursday, and we're going to be talking about some toxic femininity.
Oh my God.
Some Jada, Pink Pocket Smith
don't
and
talk
some
about Jada.
some Amber
Please don't
Turd.
talk about Jada. She's become the poster child of strong and independent,
My ass.
or just overall, just outrage.
Yep.
It's just that woman. And then she tries to justify her position and what she did to Will, saying, "Well,
Okay. Now
it's fair."
The thing with
No.
Jada is she had way too many in her body count bank before she even decided to get married.
That woman is a penis sheath.
Yeah, so she couldn't
Alright.
she couldn't adequately bond with Mr. Smith, and he's been suffering with this pseudo kind of thing. I don't even know what to call it.
His balls are surgically removed, and they're
They're in her purse.
they're
man.
bouncing around in there somewhere.
She gaslit him into doing something during that award ceremony at the time. That after the joke was made, Will laughed.
Oh yeah,
If there's any way you could get the camera footage just to see the look she was giving Will, I would like to really see that, because
I've seen it.
she must have gaslit the hell out of him to do something
Yep.
about it. And so in order to retain his honor, as very cellular as it is with his wife,
Mm-hmm.
well,
Yeah.
he went and made a fool out of himself, and then
Yes, he
therefore he's 10 years banned from the Academy Awards.
Now,
10
now
years
listen.
he's banned.
All right, now okay. Now the 10-year ban thing is
We don't want to get off into the weeds on this. We're
All right.
talking about this Thursday.
all right. Okay, all right.
All right, all right.
Yeah. All right. So
Fair enough.
we won't go into it too deep then.
All right, so we have to talk about the twatter, because everybody's talking
Oh,
about
it's
the twatter.
comedy gold.
This
man.
it's comedy gold on a plate. And I love this. Blue checkmark Twitter freaking out over Elon Musk. I did pick some favorites, and of course, Talcum X, aka Honky Kong, decided
Nice.
to pitch a bit. Elon Musk has openly called himself a free speech absolutist and said that he wants to create a space where anything can be said about anyone. That's why white nationalists are giddy today. Here on Twitter and other platforms that I track daily, it's dangerous, says the white guy. I mean, let's all take a turn here. Sean King is so white. Little kids can't use the peach crayon to color him in because it's too dark. All right. Sean King is so white, his placenta sack was an empty bag of Wonder Bread. You got any?
No. And his father's penis was low on toner.
Yeah. Thank you, Jimmy Bones, for that one.
No,
It's
that's a
like,
good
if
one.
he is black, his dad's dick was low on toner.
I'm just saying. Show him that picture we have of him, Mr. Tough Guy.
Oh, at first we got the meme of the day. You guys are going to love this. Bitter. And then we got Sean King the bitch. Let's check this out here. Jack, not going to try to pronounce it. Careful, boys. We got an original gangsta over here. And then we have the the Stay Stuffed Marshmallow Man here. I own a 9mm. It's loaded with hollow point bullets. I know MMA. And when I'm out with it, damn near nothing scares me. That's real.
Okay. All right.
Dude, Steve Urkel could kick the shit out of this guy.
Yeah.
I'm too
He
old for
choke him out
that.
with his suspenders. I just,
I'm too old for that shit, man.
It's pathetic, man. I mean, they haven't been this upset about an African American owning shit since Democrats could no longer own one. So
well,
bad.
Technically, he is from South Africa.
Yes, he is. He's a literal African American.
Yes, he is.
Oh, and of course, everybody's doing the "I'm leaving Twitter" thing. Weh.
Yeah, okay. So if Elon's sparking outrage amongst the left for buying Twitter because, like, he says he's a free speech absolutist, what does the left really have to fear? I mean, it was been a safe space platform for their dialogue for years. Okay.
Yeah.
And Twitter is a very very powerful political influencer.
Yeah.
Okay. We know that.
Yep.
Twitter certainly influenced the 2016 election and the 2020 election.
Yep.
Well, we know about the ice cream social. But anyways, Elon buying this, okay, why should it be such a shock in the first place? Because these people, I believe, are just speaking from hormonal or a lack of hormones
Well, yeah.
and whatever.
What you hear from these people is what happens. It's the inevitable side effect of emotionalizing your politics.
Well,
Because when you take your politics and you turn them into an emotion thing, all of a sudden an attack on your politics or an attack on your beliefs becomes a personal attack.
Yep.
And that's how they react to everything. They just get spun up.
You're right. That is hitting the nail on the head. They took it all personal, as though if it was Twitter was theirs and it could never be taken away. It was their toy.
Yep.
And guess what? Daddy came by and took away their shit.
I heard there's like some lockdowns and shit because they're kind of afraid they'll have a rogue employee nuke the whole thing.
Yeah, I saw that on Tim Pool today.
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah.
Well, you know why?
Okay.
Because lies die in the light of truth.
Correct.
Good ideas don't have to be enforced at the point of a gun and censorship. Bad ideas do. And that's what Twitter has become. It's become an echo chamber of horrible, disgusting, vile ideas. You can't take the idea that men can have periods out in the real world and not have it be endlessly mocked and ridiculed.
I know.
Unless you censor opposing opinion.
That's right. No, or they call you, a phobist idiot.
Yeah, of course. Yeah.
Yeah. Just try to shut you up. Istophobe idiot. Istophobe
I think
idiot.
it was a platform for them to get away with anything they wanted to say, and then if there was a rebuttal to anything coming from the right,
and check this
or
out,
anybody using common sense or logic, immediately it was an ism or an ist.
Of course.
At the end of it. Mm-hmm. So, no, yeah, Twitter. I never signed up on Twitter just because of the fact of just.
Well, we've been off for what, 4 years?
At least
3 or 4 years.
Yeah. So now Twitter stock. Look at Twitter stock now. It took a huge jump today.
Well, isn't it off? It should be off the market.
Well,
Well, I mean, the thing is, all that paperwork and stuff is not going to stop. What is going to be hilarious, though, is that we have seen the left take this like a teddy bear and cuddle it for the past 6 years, and now they're going to take that same teddy bear, wipe their butt with it, and throw it in the trash. And what is that teddy bear? It's a private company. They can do what they want.
Absolutely correct.
Except most of these big tech companies are not private companies.
They want.
Yeah.
So it's just their words back at them.
If it's publicly traded, if it's publicly traded company, it's not a private company.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And on top of that, all of these companies
were
built
about the
on
Twitter stock there, Pop. It's only at 49.61 at the closing bell today, so there was not a huge jump as some were saying. Because I'm looking at the stock price right now. So
gotcha.
Yeah, I think a lot of people are just dumping the stock, which I think for a lot of your viewers, perhaps maybe this will be an actually marketable investment.
Yeah, maybe. We don't do that here, though.
No. Well, it is going to be. He is taking it fully private. That's what that was the plan, from what I understand. Once all the paperwork has been signed and the I's are dotted, the T's are crossed, the plan is to take it completely private. What's hilarious, though, is that all these other companies that they've been using this excuse for years weren't private because, A, they were publicly traded, and B, most of them were built by tax subsidies, at least partially.
Yep.
Mm-hmm. Well, if Alien's allowed to go private, because Washington's going to insist that they keep it public.
Oh, yeah, of course. But even though they have no fucking say in it.
What would be some of the, in order to, keep the enthusiasm and the Build Back Better, it should be kept,
The Build Back bullshit.
Well, the government can say they want Twitter this and they want Twitter to do that, but they can't do shit about it.
No.
Because it's already...
How much influence has the recent governing body had in Twitter? Just the influence alone.
It's hilarious. I mean, you remember in 2016, Donna Brazile, I think it was, at the CNN, the most trusted name and butt stuff, was caught leaking the questions for the debates to Hillary Clinton.
Oh, yeah.
No, we would never do that in a million years.
Yes, I remember that.
And then all these CNN a-holes come out, as soon as the economy started going into a tailspin, and the Biden administration deliberately asks them to start spinning the news to be more positive, then they bragged about it.
Yep. I mean, I don't know what the hell's going on with him, but that motherfucker lies about everything, and then he tells on himself.
Oh, I know. We have orchestrated the most comprehensive voter fraud campaign
in all of human history. Like, whoa. He said it right there on camera. What a dumbass.
What?
Well, if they believe that they themselves are demigods inside the media, they can lie and then say, "Yeah, well, I made a mistake, journalistic mistake." then the integrity in journalism is gone.
Oh, it's absolutely gone.
If it isn't for like Tim Pool and independent sources, even the Salty Cracker, listen to him, and even listening to Mark Dice.
Yep.
All their input on Twitter has just been nothing but comedy gold on every angle. It's not like they're trying to marginalize it all to the right. They're just pretty much saying, well, the floodgates are open, and now all these emotions come spilling out from Twitter because Alien bought it. And it's just hilarious reading the tweets. He goes, now I'm reading the tweets from the actual Twitter employees on Alien purchasing, and he's just slamming it. He's just it's a murder scene. It's like a can of red paint. He just throws it up against the wall. It's literally, that's what it is.
Well, the thing is, in about 6 to 8 months' time, I can see a report being put together which is going to detail all of the backhanded shagnanigans that Twitter was doing for the past 5
Very
10
possible.
If he exposes that, then wouldn't the SEC be involved in with that, or
I don't really know.
The FBI. I mean, if it's that, could it be that bad?
It could be that bad.
I think it probably is.
Yeah,
I really do.
Yeah, and
I'm not saying that I think he's some sort of a savior of free speech or anything like that. He's an egotist. He's a billionaire. You don't become a billionaire without, cracking a few skulls along the way.
Yep.
Yeah.
But the fact that the establishment is this pissed and this scared should be encouraging for people out there.
I'm just wondering what Facebook and YouTube are going to do because,
those are in the shopping
Twitter,
cart. Musk to buy.
Twitter, Facebook, YouTube,
I want Facebook,
Google,
and I want Instagram, and
they've all been colluding. There's got to be some emails out there where they're talking to each other, and that is a big no.
Oh, I'm sure there's ever since this was announced, I'm sure that they are in a mad dash to start scrubbing a whole bunch of shit.
Absolutely correct.
There's bleach bits going on all over their place.
So basically, they're going to turn their file cabinets. It's just going to be a one big dumpster fire then. Huh?
Well,
like Hillary smashing BlackBerries.
Yeah.
Her burning the server and her private server in her house. Oh yeah.
In the bathroom with all the rest of the shit.
But what most people don't know, for any anything that's hooked up to a server, there's a record of it.
Yep.
Okay. It's one thing if you carry the files on a drive, you plug it in, and you do what you got to do. You take the drive with you, then there's no trail. But if you connect to that server through the myriad of other fucking servers out there, that means that information, there's a record of it on every server it went through to get to you, and they could pull that up.
Yep.
Unless that server has a really mean watchdog on it where it can scrub any of that so-called.
Yeah, well, I'm not a tech guy. I can't give you a 100% answer. I just know that it's really hard to remove.
Maybe there's a tech
evidence
geek somewhere in your fan base that can give us a better explanation on that.
Yeah, that'd be cool.
That's possible. I do have a fun article here, though. You'll like this.
Oh, God.
Here we go. I fear Elon Musk could undermine the ideological diversity, equity, and inclusion at Twitter, which currently maintains a careful balance of 98.7% for one side. Vox actually published this, and they're going to rue the day that they actually published this damn thing. Right here. You're going to love it.
So they put their diversity into a metric.
Employee donations to midterm candidates by party. Twitter is 98.7% Democrat. The only one that outdoes them is Netflix.
Wow.
99.6%.
That's going to bite them in the ass.
Yeah, everybody at Vox is like, did we publish that? What the fuck? We're not supposed to be telling the truth.
Well,
wretched dumbasses.
If it's not seen on Sean Hannity first, well, they can say they saw it here first on your show, Pop.
Yeah. It's fucking nuts, man.
Oh,
well, it's just that metric alone showing what the donations given in the Democratic Party receiving the highest in percentage.
Oh, yeah. And they're admitting this stuff without even meaning to admit it because they're really, really trying to demonize Elon Musk for this. And in the process,
isn't gonna work.
No, it's not going to work. And in the process, they're telling us all what we already knew, but we're not the ones who watch these garbage networks. Check this out.
Oh, here we go.
If you own all of Twitter or Facebook or what have you, you don't have to explain yourself. You don't even have to be transparent. You could secretly ban one party's candidate or all of its candidates,
They said
all
they
of its
never do
nominees.
that.
Or you could just secretly turn down the reach of their stuff and turn up the reach of something else. And the rest of us might not even find out about it till after the election.
Hunter Biden lob tap. Oh, I'm sorry.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, okay. So
Elon-
now he's saying this. When we knew it happened all along with Trump against, Hillary, and then it happened with Trump against Biden.
Yep.
And now the Hunter Biden laptop, like you just brought up there, Blake.
Mhm.
So it just, and if they really wanted to consider Twitter a free speech base, well, we all know it's not.
No.
Now, with Alien's purchase of it, and like they say, neither one candidate will be treated partial to the other now.
Well,
so
the
there
thing is-
hopefully won't be any sort of media bias.
Is now that Musk has Twitter, the left is all about redoing the 230 rules.
Oh,
So,
yeah.
Yeah.
Of course.
Yep.
Yeah, not like, our actual, our last elected president didn't talk about that a couple of years ago and was roundly just lambasted for it. How dare he? 230 works just fine. These
Yeah,
big
right.
tech companies aren't straddling the line between publisher and platform. It's just content moderation. It's really censorship. How dare you?
That's exactly what it is.
Wasn't it Barry Soetoro that allowed propaganda back into the media?
Yep.
That was
Thanks.
in 2012 with Obama.
Oh, bummer. Yeah.
They basically it was a 1937 law.
Yeah, it's the Smith-Mundt Modernization Act, and they snuck it into a defense bill, and made it legal to disseminate propaganda at home. Not that we're seeing that or anything.
I
That's
know.
just a conspiracy theory.
Yeah. It's
You
all
must be one of
conspiracy
those.
theories.
You must be one of those evil far righters.
Listen, I'm just waiting for it to kick off because I'm just done being a nice guy. I'm sick of it.
Well, the funniest thing about this whole thing and the inevitable temper tantrum that I was expecting as soon as I heard that this went through. Lefties, this is all your fault.
Yeah.
It's all your fault.
100%.
You demanded the censorship. You wanted people like Trump banned. As soon as all of that became a part of Twitter's atmosphere, their stock started going down. They made this takeover possible in the first place.
Yep.
It would have never tanked so hard to where it needed to be saved without you assholes. So thanks, Sean King.
Well, I don't think
The guy who's so white he doesn't need makeup to play the Joker.
Musk is trying to. I don't think he bought it to save it.
Here's a point of hypocrisy.
He bought it to make money.
Jeff
Yeah, he bought it to make money.
Bezos buys the Washington Compost, and they say it's a cultural rebel. It was like they gave it some overinflated term to make it sound very positive. This is Jeff Bezos buying the Washington Compost.
Oh, yeah.
Right?
Yeah, that's a good
Elon
thing.
Musk buys Twitter, and now the left's all enraged.
Because one toes the line.
Yeah.
Because it's not one of their own
Yeah.
purchasing the platform. It's Elon Musk, who pretty much, I kind of see him as the middle of the road guy.
Yeah.
I mean, he's right on some issues, he's left on some other issues. So,
I gotcha.
Yeah,
Yeah, and he
plays the
does
middle
take
very
China
well.
money, so that right there is a problem.
Yes. That is.
But, I mean, at this point in time, you can't make money in the U.S. unless you're taking China money. So it's like,
Yeah.
And
choose your poison.
that's going to be another battlefield that's going to take place in the near future.
Yeah, you're right.
And there's just.
Because
I mean, it's a national.
Can't sustain itself.
It's
for
a
too much
national
longer.
security issue
Mhm.
when you have like very sensitive shit you need for your own defense and the health of your nation, and it's being made in another fucking country.
Yeah.
Didn't the
That's
Clintons open
fucked
that
up.
up back in the 90s?
It actually, it started with Carter. He's the one that started us.
Carter or Nixon? No, not
No,
Nixon.
Carter is the one that made us buddy buddy. Our beginnings of buddy buddy with China.
Yeah.
Okay.
And then Clintons, virtually every economic policy enacted by the Clintons is just sheer poison. Not the least of which being allowing big pharma companies to directly market to consumers. Not like we're seeing a blowback from that or anything.
Nope.
Oh, not at all.
Ooh.
Oh, my God. But, yeah, I mean, it's crazy, bro. I don't know. And you know what?
Well, if you want to marginalize it and just say it's crazy, this is more than crazy. This is an absolute media apocalypse for the left.
Yep.
Because this is something they cannot contain, control, and then do their damage control, and the effect, they'll wash it. They can't wash this.
No.
Yep.
Alien bought,
whole company.
Twitter.
Yeah.
It's done.
It's done.
Okay.
Yeah. All the reeing and screeching and
comedy.
Yes.
And I love this. Are you familiar with Robert Third Reich, as I call him?
No.
He's a piece of shit. That's really what you need to know about him.
All right.
But like all leftoids, here you go. The hypocrisy is coming fast and fierce. This is not even a year old. This is July last year. Trump is suing Facebook, Twitter, and Google for violating his First Amendment rights by keeping him off their platforms. Someone should remind him that they're private companies to which the First Amendment doesn't apply. Yes, they do. Regardless, because if you operate in this country, you are subject to its constitution. But,
I saw that one.
Oh, you did? Okay. How about that one?
Okay.
But...
Well,
now that Elon Musk has bought Twitter, Musk and his apologists say that if consumers don't like what he does with Twitter, then they can go elsewhere. But where else would consumers go to post short messages that can reach millions of people other than Twitter? The free market increasingly reflects the demands of big money. If Twitter was big money, it wouldn't have been able to be bought.
Yeah, he just walked in there and bought it. That's pretty good. But, here's the thing, and you're going to see a lot of this. The left is going to go, one, they're freaking out.
No.
They're looking to do damage control, and I can almost guarantee you that since the Democrats have basically the entire government sealed up, they're going to try to pass some laws to fuck with old Musk, Twitter, and I can almost guarantee you they're going to fuck it up, and it's actually going to affect them even worse.
Well, that seems to be their MO.
Yeah.
They create the problem and then they bitch about it, which is exactly what we're seeing here.
Yep. Yeah, that right there is an illogical fallacy on the left's part. But then, as soon as Alien secures Twitter, he's got it, and he establishes whatever he needs to do. Watch all the emotional lawsuits start being thrown down the pipe.
Yeah,
because that's what I'm predicting. Because my feelings are hurt. I went into an immediate case of rage and PTSD because he bought Twitter, and what people are saying, it's just going to become court dockets are probably going to get filled. Now this is just a prediction. This allegedly could happen, and it's where a lot of judges are just going to get these butt hurt lawsuits because the left can't speak. Or cancel somebody on a platform because somebody like yourself, Pop, or me, or Blake, that has an opposing opinion.
We can't censor them anymore.
Well, the thing is,
it's never a conversation anymore between the left and the right.
But it's not like you and I have an opposing opinion. We just we literally talk about facts on the ground. It's not an opinion at that point. Yeah. It's reality.
Well, that's the issue, is that they have convinced themselves that their truth somehow matters more than reality.
Yes.
And when you shine a light on that, oh man, they hate it. Because, like I was saying earlier, that they have taken something that should be logical, politics, and they've turned it into an emotional mind game in order to try to bend the wills of children and people who are too young to have the critical thinking skills to think around it.
Yeah.
Well, like the movie says, welcome to the world of my imagination, Willy Wonka. Come on.
That's really the left now. Come with me. Yeah.
Exactly.
Wow. Willy Wonka land.
I think everybody forgets just how freaky that movie gets when they want to go down that path.
I actually like the movie.
Oh, what's not to love?
Except for the Oompa Loompas.
Yeah, but it's
They're
Gene
creepy.
Wilder at his
well,
absolute best.
The movies film noir, no matter how they try to do remakes of it, with Johnny Depp.
Oh yeah.
That's another show for you, Pop.
Oh yeah.
We're gonna be covering the Depp thing on Thursday.
Oh yeah.
Oh, you are?
The depths
Amber
of
Heard?
Depp.
Oh, yeah.
Amber Turd.
She is just getting wrecked in that case, man. Wrecked.
What did Razor Fist say today? Is that like lefties, you made your own bed, you got to lie in it. Too bad it's not Amber Heard's bed. Beautiful. Absolutely beautiful.
God damn.
Yeah.
I can tell you this right now.
I
I
don't
do
want to go off
not.
the rails with the whole Amber Heard Johnny Depp
Oh no,
thing,
I don't
but
either. But
there's some stuff coming out of that trial that is just scratches your head about this woman.
Well, I'm going to make a prediction that old Amber Heard is never going to work in the movie industry ever again.
did we lose him?
Did we lose him?
I think we might. I think reconnecting poor network connection. That's what happens when you use your phone for video call.
Yeah, God damn it. What are you going to do?
We're waiting on him. Hang on. You might have to try calling him back. Reconnecting. I hope he's not just trying to use his cellular data for this, because that would be bad.
He'll roll through all his data?
Yeah, that would be bad.
Yeah, that'd be bad.
It is what it is. All right. Hopefully we'll get him back here in a bit.
Yeah, he's always a good guy.
Yeah, I'm really enjoying the fallout of this. Seeing all these people just completely go an opposite day for the first time in 6 years with their private company thing. Like,
Or the projections.
oh yeah,
Just the crazy I mean, the left is projecting everything they're doing on us, and now they're freaking out because we can prove it.
Yep. How dare you? Oh,
Here we
here
go.
he comes.
Calling in.
I'm glad I hit the.
What's up, homo?
Are you back, sir?
Hey,
All right, there he is.
yeah, it's connection issues, just the infrastructure that I'm in.
I was just saying, I hope that you're not using your cellular data, because that would be bad.
Oh, well, I'm actually good with the cell. I'm not worried about get
Whoop.
everything set.
We lost
That's all. Yeah, I know.
And
There he is.
you know what?
Lost me again.
Well, hang on. Just to keep it from losing you, just to go to voice only, no picture.
Oh, the video
No,
seems to
I'm
be
good.
working a lot better
Okay.
now.
All right.
Yeah, I'm good. It's just momentary because I'm near the naval base here, Mayport.
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah, and they tend to have their own sipper nipper.
Okay.
What's a
Yeah,
sipper
but
nipper?
even still, you still have those that are still using the public bandwidth
It's,
into the housing areas.
Oh.
Okay. A sipper is
That's
a
what I'm
secured.
on.
Sipper is a secured internet. Nipper is a standard internet.
Gotcha. Okay.
Yeah. Sorry, I was using Air Force. Window there.
That's actually that's the military. That's across the board. Sipper nipper.
Yes.
Oh, it's across the board.
Yeah, across the board. Sipper nipper.
Well,
Oh man.
Sipper
it's just-
nipper.
everything's just turned into. I'm still trying to get everything squared away as far as my whole internet and stuff here since I just moved in. It's only been about a week.
Okay.
Little bit. Yeah.
It's all good.
So
Well, we got to get you got to get an HD cam for your computer. Get all that
Yeah.
shit hooked up.
yeah, man, we'll hook you up.
Yeah, because you're going to be on the show, more times in the future.
that's fine. No, that's fantastic. Me, I just have to get myself set up in my own place here. I need a desk. I need a chair. Yeah, and there's a few other things. I mean, it's a simple one-bedroom apartment. I mean, it's all I need for the moment.
Yeah, go to Salvation Army. You can get everything you need for like $200-$300.
Well, they have Habitat for Humanity. You can go to there, or you can go to Facebook Marketplace. Usually, there's a lot of divorce sales there.
Divorce sale.
That's exactly what goes on there. That
Yeah.
Craigslist.
Oh yeah, they unload on Facebook Marketplace, and where I'm at in Jacksonville, well, I'm near Atlantic Beach, Neptune Beach, and people are predicting the real estate bubble just to pop here.
Ooh, yeah.
Yeah.
It's going to pop everywhere.
Yeah, it's going to pop everywhere.
Local,
No pun intended.
I believe, I could be wrong, allegedly, using that word again, that the local banks or the smaller banks here are not loaning money out for mortgages.
Good.
Yeah. Yeah. So, because, rates are sitting at what, 2.5, 3?
I haven't checked lately. I refinanced like one of my houses last year or 2 years ago. I got it down into like the 2s.
Yeah.
Are you trying to return a text?
No.
Well, it looks like you're touching your penis.
My camera's messed up. So let me log back in, fellas.
Yep.
All right.
All right, no problem. Oh man, we can actually
Do some super chats.
Yeah,
let's roll through some of that.
Da-da. So I'm gonna have a reconnection here, I think, in a minute. So I'm gonna make sure I turn this down so we don't blow our ear holes out again. Alrighty. I gotta save that one because it's a question for all three of us.
All right.
Here he comes again. Bloop bloop.
All right, Jan.
Allegedly.
Yes, I am, sir.
All right, we can hear you and we can see you.
Well, no, now we can't.
Sort of.
There we go.
All right, there he is.
Because this state, the state of Florida, now for some of your fans that are in Florida, now that I am, traffic is murder here in Jacksonville.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Traffic is murder.
Yeah. See, I have a hard time with traffic. I can't really drive around in rush hour.
Yeah, you would definitely would have to be sitting in the passenger seat or just put yourself out to sleep until your destination.
Yeah, pretty much. Because
I
have a hard time with traffic.
Yeah, the Beltway, the 297 around Jacksonville is murder. 95 down towards.
How far are you from Miami?
Oh gosh, about 6 hours.
Oh, okay.
Ooh.
I'm 45 minutes south of Savannah, Georgia.
Oh wow! All right.
All right.
Yeah, just take 95 north, and I'm in Savannah, Georgia, which I think is going to be a road trip.
All right.
Outstanding.
So when you get down here, we'll go to a surf and turf.
Yeah. I want to do one of those
we'll
crawfish.
go up to Savannah, and there's a real good Irish bar.
I want to do the crawfish broil with the crabs and stuff. I think that'd be kind of cool.
Yeah, there's a really good place. Oh gosh, there's tons of good places. Yeah, we'll definitely. I'll scout one out, and we'll definitely go. You can bring cash or a credit card because in one way or another, you're paying half or 3/4 of it.
All right.
That's okay, as long as where we can get through this stream okay, and you don't have to show us your tubing. We don't need any CNN Zoom calls.
We don't need anything like that
happening over here.
No.
Zoom and groom and Skype and wipe.
Oh my God,
We're
Skype
done
and
here.
wipe. All right, so we're gonna go through some super chats here. So.
Oh
right.
Man. All right, we could do a quick roll call here. We got 76 currently watching over on Twitch, 38 on MGTOW.tv, 65 on D Live, 86 on Odyssey, 594 currently watching over on Rumble, and 862 on YouTube.
All right.
Thanks everybody for tuning in tonight.
Not bad. Thank you so much.
Got some lemons from Drop to Hammer Now and Dapper Sapper. The gift game is going strong over there with Emperor of Chaos Jackal doing looks like some weird anime gif asses. Like whatever works.
All right, yeah.
Coach Iron Pete likes white girls. That's good to know. All right, over on Odyssey, we got Caleb on. Good evening, all you fart-sniffing, cunt-punting mung munchers.
Oh, my God.
Hope you're having a wonderful week so far. And straw request.
Gotcha.
Good deflection. D. Cooley, so with Disney taking the Mickey, you heard about Australian Prime Minister pooping himself at a McDonald's?
I have not.
No, I have not heard about this. Wait, what? Was Australian Prime Minister
Poop himself.
poops McDonald's? I mean, that tends to happen when you go to. Oh, he claims that he didn't shit his pants at a McDonald's in 1997.
Okay, that's 1997. So what?
Second, that's 25 years ago.
He could have been drinking. Who fucking cares?
Oh,
It happens.
okay. So this must be the original article here. I'll put this up on the screen here. It was at this spot on the evening of September 20th, 1997, that Scott Morrison defecated in his pants after the Cronulla Sharks lost the Super League Grand Final to the Brisbane Broncos. This is a plaque. Australia's Prime Minister has a pants shitting problem.
But that's something right there is I can respect, because we would do something like that if we knew a guy shit his pants somewhere. We literally would immortalize that.
Oh yeah. You're not getting away clean like
I'm
that.
surprised no one
No,
bronzed
no,
your.
because
I'm surprised your Pringles can didn't get bronzed.
Oh, I think it
Yeah,
was. I
because
think they had to throw it away.
It'll be every time you drive past that location, you say, "Hey, you remember that spot? Yeah, fuck you."
Yeah,
Yeah, you're right. You're absolutely correct.
it's just nasty.
Because you know we would do that to some poor soul, and we just sit there and just kind of give that shit-eating grin, like, we remember that day.
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
That's why they don't let it go, man. You tell the world you shouldn't have Pringles.
No, hang on. I'm trying to remember. There was a guy in the unit when you were there. He was from Thailand, and every time he would jump, he would be in the air for like 40 minutes.
NG.
NG.
Yeah, I remember him.
NG.
Yeah.
All that fast. Because I remember, we're doing the jump master thing, and I'm sitting there, and he's like two people away from me. I go, so how? We're taking bets, NG, on how long you're going to be in the air. He's just like, what is the payout for 1 hour? I'm like, it's about $200. Put me for 1 hour.
Did he have like a weird accent or something?
He actually talked like he was from Thailand.
Oh, okay.
And
Yeah,
sure as
he
shit.
got the domestic violence case, and
yeah.
they wouldn't let him draw a weapon from the arms room. I remember that.
Yeah.
What?
Because
I think the best
because he would
time we had
drink.
to ever immortalize or a place was when we forced Goat Belly to the ground. We literally poured toothpaste into his mouth.
Oh God, yes. Oh,
Why would you do that?
because you don't understand. Like if you're standing near him and he breathed in your direction,
Oh,
you had
that's
to make
right.
a
Yeah,
saving
he had the
throw
breath.
if you were going to vomit or not.
So we had to hold him down, Blake.
It was so bad.
We had to hold him down and plug his nose, and his mouth is open, and then
Pour toothpaste in there.
Meat just pours this freaking crest into his mouth, and Walker's trying to spit it. I mean, not Walker. But Goat Belly's trying to spit it out.
And he's
He's
yelling,
like saying,
it hurts.
It burns. It's like, it's working, you motherfucker.
And he said, it's burning. I go, because it's working.
Follow it up with some Listerine if you want.
I
to feel
love
the
that
burn.
guy, though. But, we all had our problems. Like, I couldn't walk on ice.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, I remember that.
Remember, I for like 5 hours, it was nothing but the whole team laughing at me, slipping and falling while I was trying to walk on this road, which was all ice laden.
Okay.
Yeah,
And-
grayling. I remember that.
And
yeah.
finally, after like 5 hours of falling, I fell that one last time, and I'm like, all right, we're setting up hooches over there. I'm done. Oh, yeah. Oh, shit.
Nowhere near the objective. He just says, "All right, I'm done."
Yeah, fuck it. Or
He wakes up the next morning. You can tell you were sore just by the way you were walking.
Yeah.
And you're like looking at the map, and you look at the terrain like you just knew that all that ice out there was going to kick your ass.
Yep, that's exactly what
did.
happened. Yes,
it did. It was a moment, Blake, that you certainly would have had to have a gyroscopic camera.
Everyone was laughing at me. I was so pissed.
Oh yeah, I was delighted.
Oh yeah.
I bet you were.
Yeah. Hey, look, that's the way it goes in the Army. Yeah, if you see weakness, you fuck with the guy. That's just the way it goes. It doesn't matter if he's in charge.
It's blood. It's chum in the waters. There's going to be a great white, and you know what? In our unit, you always needed a bigger boat.
Remember how I used to always screw?
Insults.
I used to always screw with our commanders. Oh yeah, they hated me. It was glorious.
I know they did. I know the last Nicholson hated you. Coyle trained you well. Coyle was the man.
Yeah, but the thing is, those commanders hated me. But if there was something that needed to be done and it had to be done right the first time, it was always my team.
Yeah.
I remember we were doing NTC, and then we did JRTC. We went to Yakima Firing Center, And it was like, okay, well, we're going to send Pop's team because they have the highest chance of making commo, and we don't want to look stupid. Like, okay.
Yeah. Yeah. Because, you know, our RTO, he was spot on.
Dude, he could talk to God.
Yeah.
I remember throwing it down. I'm like, well, what are you going to do? He's just like, don't worry about us, Aren't. We'll get comms. 40 minutes later, I look back. He's got like an antenna up in the fucking tree, and he's got a dipole. And I'm like, what the fuck are you doing? He goes, just let me work my magic.
Yes.
Yeah.
10 minutes
just
later.
Leave him alone because I never questioned him.
Nope.
He'd just say, go climb up that tree with that antenna and don't fuck it up.
Yeah, he tuned. Right. Remember that time he tuned a fence?
He tuned in a fence.
Yeah.
We tried to tune in a water buffalo and a mailbox.
I know he tuned in the oil pump.
He did the oil pump.
Yes.
And the bumper of a deuce and a half.
Yeah, like literally, it's got the pump and it's like sitting there pumping oil, and he's just like, I could tune that. I'm like, dude, it's a moving object. Yeah, it doesn't matter. It's made of metal. I could tune it. Well, and that motherfucker did.
We tuned in that bumper of a deuce and a half.
Yeah,
because one of our legs snapped and we wouldn't get proper comms. No, I'm sorry. That wasn't the bump. That was another team. It was our antenna was cut short. So all we did was throw the antenna into a pond of water.
Yep. Amazing.
Damn.
Yep. And we got comms.
Yeah,
and we're just looking at each other like, all right, well, it works. Fuck it.
That's right.
Yeah.
Yeah. We threw it. We meant to throw it near the water. It went into the water.
Yeah. And here's the funny thing. The commo equipment that we were using at the 425 was top of the line for 1978.
Yes.
So we actually went to Iraq in 2004 with all of that great commo equipment that you can only talk to the 1970s Army, not the current Army.
Yeah, I remember that was frustrating because we couldn't even get on the net. Nothing. No. I mean, even what was it? The smaller radios were the 120,
126s,
126s.
Mm-hmm. And we used to
even
make
those, you know.
And we used to make funky. Remember, we used to make the tune under two antennas for those.
Yeah.
So we could talk, 18 clicks with this little tiny box.
Yeah.
We did it like we did it all the time. It was fucking awesome.
I just remember we had one of the smaller 126s, and then we're standing there with one. I'm standing there with a lieutenant, and then there's me. He just because the LT was having a hard time making comms. He snatches it from the LT, points the antenna to the ground, keys in, calls in, and he keys up, calls in, and just hands it back to him. What'd you do? And then me and Meat were just looking at each other like, whatever, sir. You didn't pay attention.
He tuned the earth. Yeah. All right. What's the next one?
Oh, man.
Are we going to get some super chats in?
I was going to say, I think we can hit a couple of super chats here, but with all these military stories, we might as well even just go right into the next subject.
All right.
But one of them is definitely relevant to the twatter scenario. So we got pop me in the butt over on MGTOW.tv.
Oh, my God.
It says, Pop, I will definitely get your urn and flush your ashes down the toilet. That way, when you decide to haunt me, I will trap your spirit inside of a doll and force you to fight demons on my behalf.
All right. Well, I mean.
And he says here, Pop Blake and Richard Fitzwell, at this stage in the game with the recent purchase of Twatter, is the two-way rifle range avoidable or inevitable?
Until it starts, it's always avoidable.
Yeah.
Until it starts. I hope to God we can come back and not have to do any crazy shit. I am not looking forward to that.
Mm-hmm.
No,
all right.
Yeah. Well, me neither. Nobody wants to see the two-way rifle range. And here's the thing. It's going to be just that one over-ambitious, overzealous, I don't know, subject. Let's just say that. That's going to just pull the trigger because they thought they were right to do it. And they'll argue it to the bitter end.
Or all of the firefights. You always got that one dude. All right, hold your fire. And everyone like, ah! Everyone just goes crazy. And you're like, ceasefire? What? I didn't tell anyone to start shooting. Well, he started shooting, and I'm like, oh my god.
Yeah, boy.
Nobody will yell out test fire, and that's when it hits. It's going to be done. It's going to happen when it's not when it shouldn't have to happen, or there was no need for it to happen.
Correct.
Somebody's going to pull that trigger, and it's going to be the Borg mentality after that.
Yeah, it always is.
And what's going to help kick it off is shit like this. Look at this. Pentagon has outlined its equity priorities.
All right. This I read this article.
Yeah.
This is very similar to what the Chinese army did in their own army in the 60s, 70s, and early 80s.
Yep.
They quite literally just turned it into a political wing, and they're still digging themselves out of that.
Yep. DOD vows to change procurement, education, healthcare, and even AI to fit race and gender agenda. Current DOD policy provides a mean by which transitioning service members may obtain gender-affirming medical treatment and recognition of their self-identified gender, and seeks to protect the privacy of all service members. And you're paying for it.
That's right. Now, listen, I'm
here's my
sorry.
problem with the gender-affirming surgeries. You're going to have a kid that comes in, and then he's in processing. It's a dude, but he says, no, I identify as a female. So, okay, following the guidelines that the Pentagon's going to put out. And then he's going to request the change, the surgery.
And then
that guy's going to be out on medical profile
forever.
Yep.
And
then gender reassignment.
And then he's going to be on disability the rest of his fucking life.
Exactly, because he can say, well, something went wrong with the surgery and the military did the procedure.
Yeah, my last dilation procedure with a banana didn't go as planned. Give me money.
Exactly.
Well, my thing is this.
Therefore,
you and I both know you don't want military doctors cutting on you.
No,
you don't.
No, those guys. I mean, no. I'm no offense to military doctors, but I know you guys are C+ dudes. All right?
Well,
now, if you're going to be working a scalpel cutting into my meat suit, I want the A+ dude. I'll take the A- guy in a pinch, but I don't want a C+ doctor cutting on me.
Nope.
I don't want that.
That would be.
Well, what about your 18 Deltas? Those guys who are just shy of being a doctor.
Oh yeah.
Who actually continue their education and training to actually become doctors?
My 18 Delta actually replaced fillings in my teeth on the hood of a Jeep.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was unpleasant.
Those guys can do anything. They're also vet techs. Some of them are actually veterinarians.
Yeah.
So, but I agree with you, because after that, you had one of the dudes had a shoulder injury there in Yakima.
Yep, that was old.
And you told the doctor that you just didn't get a warm fuzzy cutting into one of your troops, and you gaslit the shit out of him for saying that.
I looked him right in the face and I said, "Go ahead, sir. Go ahead and cut on my soldier, and there will be dire fucking consequences."
Yeah.
And guess who didn't get cut on? My soldier. They boxed him up. They sent him back to Detroit, and the people who fixed the Red Wings fixed his fucking shoulder.
Good.
And he's got almost no problems to this day with it.
Oh man. Oh, this paragraph right here.
All right.
Oh, this is the cherry on the shit sundae right here. Right. As for future goals, the plan envisions a 5-point strategy to embed equity into everything the military does, starting with an ambitious, equitable procurement and contracting agenda that would reorganize the entire supply chain and give more opportunities for small, disadvantaged businesses and traditionally underserved entrepreneurs to get Pentagon contracts. This sounds very familiar. Because if memory serves, not too long ago, somewhere in this country, there was a bridge that didn't even stand for a year before it collapsed. And who built that bridge?
Chicks.
So now you're going to have people who are disadvantaged businesses and, underserved entrepreneurs building weapons.
Or the vehicles.
Yeah.
Or your helicopter.
I can't see this going wrong at all.
All right, listen, our supply chain that we have is already effed up, and it's incredibly complicated. And now you're going to add 2 or 3 other levels of bureaucracy to it. Yeah, I'm sure it's going to work out to be just great.
Yeah.
Not.
Oh, man. And then they experimented with, what was it, the gender-neutral combat fitness test, because, men are men, and, men can be women and women can be men, right? And we're totally equal physically.
Well, the reason they went to this is the people who were running the Army, it was like 8 years back, saw their handwriting on the wall, and they put this PT test into place, and the standards for the job you do in the Army depend upon how you do on this PT test. It has nothing to do with gender.
Yep.
You want to be in combat? It doesn't matter what you got, hanging out between your legs. This is the combat standard.
Mm-hmm.
If you can't make the combat standard, you can't be in a combat fucking unit.
Yeah.
And that's the way it should be.
But it's oppressive to women, Pop. We
Yeah,
can't
okay.
have that. We
And we had the same problem with
lost him again.
Yeah, we had the same problem with the PT tests. The old where you just did the push-up, sit-ups, the 2-mile run. Some of those, like literally, like some of these women had to do
Damn it.
some of these women had to do 8.
Why'd you hang up? You were still there.
I was having trouble with
Yeah, okay.
You bastard.
Well,
I got the chat up on the screen and shit. What the fuck's going
Yeah,
on?
it just my phone everything just froze on the phone. I was hearing it. I was listening to everything you guys saying. Everything just froze on my phone.
Son of a bitch.
But
And
you've seen
when
this.
when I get the higher performing camera, I guess then it will be
But
more suitable.
Marty, like when you were in the Air Force, you saw this, right? Where under the old PT test, there were some women that would come out and they only had to do like 8 or 12 fucking push-ups.
Ugh.
Yep.
What the fuck is that?
Well, the Air Force PT test is based on 2 events: your waist size and your run time. You can max out your push-ups. I mean, you can do 50 push-ups, but all you got to do is like 12, and you're going to get the max points, which is 10 for that event. All right?
Uh-huh.
Stop at where your age max is at. Move on to the next event. Waist size was a killer.
Yep.
For all of us, because as we got older, especially in a flight squadron wearing the flight suit, you pretty much the standard was to be the size of Pee Wee Herman. All right, and a lot of pilots were worried about the PT test because if you fail 3 PT tests, you're out. And for an officer, it's a bit more devastating because they can revoke your flight status because you failure to perform.
Yeah,
it's a standard.
Uh-huh. But like in my unit, we had all these women that were failing PT tests, some of them for years on end, and I was doing the packets to kick them the fuck out, and they wouldn't throw them out. But yet I had male soldiers. If you failed 3 PT tests, I do a packet on you, they're gone like in 90 days.
Yeah.
I had women.
It was the same in the Air Force.
Yeah. I literally had women that passed the PT test in basic training, came to the unit, never passed another PT test for 4 fucking years, and still got an honorable discharge.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Yeah. And being in a flight squadron for C-130s, when I first went into the Air Force, they actually would check your pulse at resting, and they would check your pulse after you got done doing a certain event.
Uh-huh.
Okay. Which some people just naturally have high blood pressure at rest. Okay. And that was kicking my ass on that event for the PT test. I was failing every PT test because of the pulse.
Wow.
My pulse was too high at rest.
Okay.
So it was my commander came up to me and he says, "Lose the weight, fat boy, or you're out."
Well, when your commander says that,
and
that's the
I
way
had
it goes.
to drop. I dropped 50 pounds, and that wasn't through just dieting and exercising. That was through Adipex.
Yep.
Oh yeah, that stuff. It'll suppress your appetite for sure, but man, you go and go. So I got down to 198.
Wow.
And I was skeletal. And I think my most weight loss that I had was after I came back from Bogota, Colombia, where I had dysentery. I was down to 183.
Oh my God. You had intestinal worms?
Yeah, I had amoebic dysentery.
Ah, God. That's a rough
that hurt. And so nothing was safe. And so I remember reporting in front of the group commander down there in Puerto Rico. And he looked at me in my flight suit and he goes, "Oh my God."
It's never a good thing.
It was a terrible sight, but I was like, yeah, I had the weight loss I always dreamed of. Yeah.
Yeah.
And that's not going to happen anymore in the military. You're no longer going to have fighting machines who have actually been trained to do what they do best.
Yeah.
You're
Well,
gonna have...
they stopped training soldiers to be monsters on the battlefield.
Yep.
And you can't differentiate that because you got a bunch of grunts. Yeah, that the one thing there's only a few simple things on a grunt's mind. When are we going to eat? When is close of business?
When do I sleep?
When do I sleep?
And where's my ammo?
Mm-hmm. There's ammo.
And who's got the map?
And is it Friday?
Yeah.
And and some of those guys that had girlfriends are like, hey, I'm going to be out doing butt stuff all weekend with my girl.
Well, there you go.
It was very simplistic with a lot of grunts. And back when me and Pop, when we were just Joes ourselves, that mentality was easy to grasp. Nobody messed with you. Even commanders or your senior NCOs understood what a Joe needed.
That's right.
Okay, so he's going through a nicotine fit. Throw him a can of Copenhagen. You all right? Yeah, I'm good now. Okay, square your shit away. Unfuck yourself. All right? So, but now...
You got to deal with
what I
feelings.
I was going to say,
the atmosphere completely... The entire environment has changed,
Yeah. All of that stuff that you said is the first thing on a grunt's mind. Where does equity come into any of that?
It doesn't.
No, because you want to know why? Grunts don't care about equity. You suck. They're going to let you know you suck.
And fat shaming works.
Yes, it does.
Yes, and fat shaming works because, shit, my first team leader fat shamed me. I'll never forget him. Sergeant Jones. He goes, you're a fat piece of shit. I'm like, oh my gosh. Just by looking at my PT score, he was like, you're a fat piece of shit. And I says, well, I scored a 275. You're a fat piece of shit. You got to score a 285.
That's fucked up.
Wow.
Man.
Yeah. And they put me on the Fat Boy program as soon as I got to Italy.
Well, okay. Well, listen, I had to deal with a lot of fat boys in my career.
Yeah.
And most of the time I was able to rehabilitate them to the point where they would pass tape and PT. And then, and it was always an issue with those people because it's just the way it is. Yeah. Especially men. Men get heavy. And
men get heavy, women get pregnant. They try to get out of doing their duty.
You know what when I in the Air Force, what most pilots were doing that couldn't pass the waist measurement, they were taking the Bengay, rubbing it all over their glove handles and their gut, and wrapping saran wrap real tight around their waist.
I've seen that trick.
And then they wake up in the morning, and then apparently it gave them the few less inches they needed to score at least some points on the tape.
Or they got lipo.
Seems like it would hurt.
Yeah.
It just redistributes the moisture, from what I understand, the Bengay does, and eventually it's all going to come right back. Now, that's the thing that the Air Force just doesn't have any forgiveness with. Right there is when they tape your waist, you better. Then they tell you suck it in, and they measure at the belly button. They don't measure below the belly button, underneath the fucking fupa. They measure at the belly button.
Yeah.
Bengay, that could describe a lot of the employees at Twitter.
I thought you were going to talk about Navy stuff with Bengay.
But this is the new fitness test here.
There we go.
Gender neutral scoring here. So leg tucks are out, plank is in, gone is the gender age neutral scoring, and latest revisions. What do you see? Largest military service doesn't want to disadvantage any groups and kick out valuable soldiers because they couldn't pass the new fitness test as it was initially envisioned.
Well,
this is going to get so many people killed.
It is. It's going to get people killed.
Well, yeah.
But of course, they're going to have.
They're doing CrossFit movements, and they haven't been properly trained in CrossFit because I did CrossFit for 2 years, and even before I could go heavyweight, there was a time where they just put a PVC pipe across my shoulder, and it says, "Until you learn how to squat properly, then we'll go move on to doing light weights." These people are going right into poor posture and then they're being told to lift an ungodly amount of weight. They're going to throw their back out, their hips and their knees are going to pay the price because they're not being taught properly how to push with their abdomen or with their core, as they say. So there's that whole PT test. The push-ups, sit-ups, run worked for years. The swim test worked and pull-ups worked. You know, I don't know why they try, but it's the Army, and they always try to keep reinventing the damn wheel. And if they want to make things gender neutral, well, I'm sorry, there's no such thing as gender neutral.
Yeah, I think one of the main reasons that they did it is because literally 80% of Generation Z is unfit to serve.
Yeah.
So it was either do this.
Hard time finding fit candidates because of the fat of the excess processed foods.
The Xbox
that
bodies.
are now they're now in the daily diets of these kids.
Well, the thing is, if you can get around that if you have drill sergeants who are just cavemen.
Yes.
You show up, you're fat, you're getting like skim milk, lettuce, and white chicken, and you're going to keep up with everyone.
Yeah.
Fuck off, Daddy.
Remember the processing center at Benning, Pop?
Did I go? Yeah.
For those kids that couldn't do the required amount of push-ups or sit-ups just to go to basic, they'd send them to fat camp.
Yep.
Ooh.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I remember I was going through in processing, and we had a fat boy, and he got sent to the fat camp, and I was literally finishing AIT and gonna go home, and he was just starting his basic training AIT nightmare at Fort Benning.
Yeah.
So he had been in fat camp for 3 months
Wow.
before, and then he had to do another 3 months of basic and AIT.
Yeah.
Damn.
Yeah. Back then, the Army was not forgiving if you were fat.
If you were fucked
I
up.
mean, literally, it was put the fork down.
Yeah, and they used to have the re-education camps. Remember those?
Yep. Mm-hmm.
You don't want to go there. Because
No.
I went over to the education camp on Fort Lewis when it used to be there and looked through the fence at the hell that those guys, their lives were. And like quite literally, on one side of the compound, you have men with shovels, and they're digging, and they're throwing the dirt up. And then you have somebody taking that dirt and putting it in sandbags. And then people are carrying sandbags across the compound. And then they're undoing the sandbags, dumping them out, folding them, and stacking them. And then somebody picks the sandbags up, walks them back, and they do that for half the day. And the second half of the day, they start off at this other group of fucking sandbags, and just reverse it.
Well, you want to know why they did that? And I just recently read an article. It was to break their will of independence and their spirit.
I don't know,
to
man.
Get them to conform. There's nothing worse than to give a man a task with no purpose.
Yeah, it was fucking horrible watching it. I'm like, ah.
That was an actual concentration camp tactic used by the Nazis for the males to break their spirit, was to make them move sandbags from one area to the other and then move them back.
Mm-hmm.
Because they were all happy. Well, okay, we moved all these sandbags. Okay, now move them back.
Yeah. And it wasn't just sandbags. They had to cut wood, stack rocks, smash up bricks into powder.
Mm-hmm. Big rocks, little rocks.
Yeah. I was like, fuck that. I'm not doing that shit.
Or the one was folding laundry, and then they would come through and then just fuck it all to hell, unfold everything, and they say, okay, fold everything back up.
That's right. Yeah. You know what? You learn how to get. I'm going to be talking about this at the CME in Miami in May about mental resiliency. And that's one of the things you learn in the military when they treat you like that. Is you either figure out how to deal with this horse shit and turn it into a game so you can survive, or just be all super negative and then it will break you.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's the whole point, was to break your spirit.
Yeah.
And I can see that happening moving forward the way this shit is going, because you're going to have dudes who are like top tier, best of the best, getting, put into units with these people who, with the actual gender neutral scoring, would never be anywhere near a battlefield. And they're going to have to trust these people who they're failures, essentially. They're going to have to trust these people with their lives. And
yeah, it's not going to.
How are you going to do that?
Well, I mean, the way I handled it is I went to special operations.
Yeah.
So in special operations, they have a whole other standard. Everyone that's there wants to be there, so you don't have that fucking minimalist, do bare minimum bullshit attitude.
And it's not like we didn't know.
If you ever get to see it for yourself, Blake, there is a very definitive line between big dumb army and tier 2 special operations members, because the smaller a unit is, the more cohesive and the more integrity they have for each other, hence what me and Pop worked in.
Yeah.
And then big dumb army is kind of like your larger infantry divisions, your 82nd Airborne, 101st.
Well, I wouldn't say the 82nd falls into the big dumb. Well, they're right on the fence post.
They're on the fence.
Yeah.
I would have to say they're on the fence, because there's a lot of cool shit that some of those guys get pulled into and have access to more schools than what some of the other big dumb army units have.
Oh God.
Yeah. Okay. So, I mean, like in the 101st, you have an opportunity to apply for 160 SOAR because they're right there. Okay. 82nd, well, shit, you've got the Special Forces, you've got Camp McCall right there, you got sniper schools in Benning.
There's one there. There's another one at Benning too, and then there is a. I believe Bragg has all of the KD ranges for a sniper course, because I've done.
So when you were in Big Dumb Army before, you went Ranger Battalion, Pop.
Yeah.
You noticed the distinct difference.
Oh yeah. Oh shit. Yeah.
Yeah. So and then when Caveman got busted and sent from Ranger Battalion back to Big Dumb Army.
Oh no, he went to prison first, and then he went to Big Dumb Army. And how he came back to Special Operations after that is, that guy's a legend.
Well,
I don't even know how
he went to the Ohio's Special Forces, their National Guard.
Yeah, and he backdoored it. Yep.
Yeah. He backdoored it and got security clearance. You know how Caveman is. He can literally talk the blue out of the sky and talk the panties off of a freaking Playboy bunny.
Yeah.
Nice.
He can. He literally, this guy is that smooth.
Not anymore.
You look at him and you'd figure, no way. This guy just got done crushing somebody's skull, and now he's up there flirting with this chick.
Well, usually smooth guys wind up super chunky. Just kind of how things go.
Yeah.
Not that you would know anything.
I haven't seen him in a while.
Well, he's fucked up real bad.
Ugh.
Yeah. So he's not going to be around much longer.
Yeah, he's going into a state
like our country.
decrepitude.
Well, I mean, he did what, 11 tours, wounded 4 or 5 times. He did almost 3 months in a coma.
Mm-hmm.
He's got artificial intestine in him, titanium bones, plastic plates. I mean, he's fucked.
Yeah.
I thought he had pig intestines.
I don't know. I don't know what that is. That's horrible shit.
That's good time.
I'm
So
sure
when
they
he
just,
farts,
I'm
it
sure
smells
they
like
just
bacon.
went to Lowe's or Home Depot and picked up some plumbing and installed it in him.
That's
He's a
right.
cyborg.
They just sewed him up. All right, let's finish up. Do we have any super chats?
Yeah, but we're still
all right
on this subject here a little bit.
All right, let's go through this one here.
I mean, the military knows what's going on. This is from NPR of all things. I mean, you want to talk about a news publication that's about as far left as it gets. This was 2015 Marine Corps study. Boom. All male combat units perform better than mixed units.
Absolutely correct. And they've been doing this study on and off pretty much every 5 years since the end of Vietnam. And it's always the same.
Yeah, every single time.
And I have no idea why it's always the same. All male units are better. How they went from that to, yes, we're going to put women in the unit.
Well, because they're hoping the numbers change. But it's quite obvious that the numbers aren't. Once again, the math is not lying.
Nope.
All right. So, I mean, the Army, if the Army sees fit to put females on the front line, fine. I mean, it's all going to come down to performance. That's it. How they're going to perform. And like the article says, a battle can be won by just inches.
Yep.
All right. And it's in that article right there that you just put up by NPR. And that's a very good quote.
Yeah.
And
if you give...
I've seen it. And it could just be that 1 inch of ground that's going to win you just that fight.
Yeah. And when you try to train your military by equity, you're not just giving inches, you're giving the damn mile.
That's right.
Yeah. So, but training any unit in equity, obviously you can see where the loss in proficiency in training is at, because the various other articles that that you gave to me and I read was where they're having training in CRT about white police brutality. I mean, why are you training Marines or any of your service members in anything social when everything should just be, okay, what is your job?
What do you need to do your job, and what do you need to do to survive?
Almost 6 million man-hours spent on this wokeness training bullshit.
And when I was in, we had the suicide stand down. We had EO, and then we had sexual harassment. I mean, we were literally, we could do online training every single month and go through all of our training time just doing online bullshit.
Yeah.
Oh,
and you know, and
online training is terrible.
It's bullshit. Like, I don't know. I'm old school. I want to train a soldier. Guess what? I put a rifle in his hands. He learns how to fire maneuver. He learns how to road march. He learns how to shoot. He learns how to use, claymore mines, how to set up a mortar, how to do anti-tank ambushes, how to read a goddamn map.
Yeah.
That all build a defensive position.
Yeah.
But then again, defensive positions are no because you're just going to die in it anyways.
For the most part.
But that sounds at least like it would be something you would use. Listen to this. Right. One Marine told us a military history training lesson was replaced with mandatory training on police brutality, white privilege, and systemic racism. He reported that several officers are now leaving the unit citing that training. Mr. Cotton said another service member told us that their unit was required to read White Fragility by Robin DiAngelo, a book that we roundly dissected and destroyed on an episode of the show. Watch it if you haven't yet.
Yep.
Which claims that white people raised in Western society are conditioned in a white supremacist worldview.
No, there was
bullshit.
There was a unit, and this was about 10 years ago, and this one commander made this entire unit wear red pump, high heel shoes, and march in some fucking parade.
No way.
Yeah, and I had 2 of my friends were there, and they literally said, "I am not fucking doing that." And they're like, "Well, we're going to give you an Article 15. I will elevate to a court-martial. I will end your motherfucking career. This is bullshit, and I am not fucking doing it."
Wow.
Who did this? What commander?
It was a medical unit, and I had a couple Joes that had moved on from civil affairs back in the day, and they went to these units.
Holy hot damn.
And the 2 guys that were former soldiers of mine. So they're like, "Fuck you." They already had a green belt in administrative violence because I showed them how to do that stuff. But it was fucked up.
Wow. All right. So I'm going to turn this last question over to you guys before we take a break. And do you want to go to New Tech to read Super Chats so we can have some good butts, or what do you want to do? You want to stick with YouTube?
We can go to New Tech.
Yeah, okay. I'm sure we all got to take a tinkle. You know what I mean?
I got you.
But we already can see what this is doing to the retention rates. There's whistleblowers coming out and talking about this shit. I mean, worst case scenario, where do you see this taking the military of this country that at this point, dump. I mean, we're on a cusp of basically losing our status as a superpower if we continue this shit.
They're going to have to start. Listen, if we actually need to field a big army, they're going to have to draft because they have literally ruined all the incentives for people to enlist.
Yeah.
Yeah. There's nothing there in the military to offer somebody whom, well, let's just say they need to find themselves, who they really are. And young kids will go in and test themselves to see, okay, what can I do? They go in there with the impression, I got to impress myself before I try to impress anybody else. There isn't any more incentive because the more the media tends to broadcast all of this wokeness out there, it discourages them and say, why do I want to go into a military which could potentially put social issues above training that is necessary for me to become more proficient in my MLS or further enhance my skill base? No. I mean, we're getting a lot of negative press as it is already. In the military, during the onset of Desert Storm Episode 2, that
The
recently
Phantom
happened.
Man-ass.
The liberal media was immediately all over it looking for, the baby killers. But needless to say, they put a vacuum seal on them and just told them to go away. And our press corps will release whatever is necessary for you to learn, because after Geraldo screwed over that one unit by giving away its position.
Oh, I remember that.
Fuck
You're
Geraldo.
They
done.
sent his ass
Get
home.
out.
Oh, Geraldo's such a piece of shit.
Yeah.
Yeah, well, if they're going to continue down this dark, slippery road, and it's going to hurt them in the long run. Like you said, China is still trying to dig itself out of its woke, politicizing its military wing. I don't know.
Yeah, the
So
damage
these
from this can be
commanders just
done
need to
fast.
say- These commanders just need to say, no, we're not doing it.
Yeah, because the damage from this can accumulate fast, but it can take decades to undo.
Exactly.
If it can be undone at all.
Yeah.
Yeah.
If your country can survive it.
Well, like, for instance, if I wound up running the show, I would literally walk into the Pentagon and be like, all trans people are done. I want them processed out of the military in 30 days or less. You're gone.
I'd give them to close a business.
Oh,
Goodbye.
You got to have 30 days, man. I mean, you and I both know it's going to take time to clear and do all the horse shit.
And with that said, banned.
Well, fine. Give them a Twitter exodus. Who cares? Just reading these articles that you gave me earlier, and each one of them is just like, what are these people thinking? And why is our own Congress allowing this to happen? Even in the DOD, what do they hope to achieve by feeding all of this bullshit information to soldiers that don't give a shit? Like I said, they want to know when they're going to go to sleep, when chow is. Is it Friday yet?
Yeah.
Well,
And,
just knowing.
just basics.
Yeah. Well,
Okay.
the thing is, just knowing how common sense all of this is, there's only a couple of conclusions you can draw.
It's being intentionally done.
Either they are just that damn ignorant, which is scary, or it's pure fucking malevolence, which is terrifying.
Yep. I think they're doing it on purpose.
I do too.
Yeah. So they are doing it on purpose because the minds of young soldiers are still very impressionable.
Yeah.
Okay. And this is going to lead to a disaster. They're not going to have the courage, in my opinion, they're not going to have the courage to fight, back their buddy up, and just overall continue to want to fight on. This is going to be like, well, my sergeant didn't say I had to because, it goes against whatever, my feelings. I'm transgender. I don't have to fight because I'm on a permanent medical profile.
Or it's not my job.
Or it's not my job.
Yeah,
Oh my
I do
God.
paperwork. I don't fight. Fuck you. You shoot your weapon twice a year. Guess what? If we need you, you're a rifleman. Fuck off.
In my first unit, we had the supply guy working with mortar guys, and he was jumping the base plate for the freaking mortar teams.
God, that's a fucking rough one there.
It's good times.
Yeah. He was jumping the base plate for the mortar teams.
Yeah.
We had the NBC NCO. He was jumping the Dragon.
That's right.
For the weapon squad. Yeah,
I've been that guy where the platoon sergeant walks by and goes, "Hey, you're looking a little light there, Pop." Yeah. Strap something heavy to him that goes boom, and so he's not wasting any space on the plane.
Nice.
Okay. All right.
Speaking of lightening the load, I think all of us have to go and drain the main vein. So with that being said, we're going to read all of your super chats on New Tech with some spectacular hind ends. I hope we will see you all over there. Look for the links to the New Tech platforms where we are broadcasting in the chat. We're on MGTOW.tv, Rumble, Odyssey, DLive, and Twitch. We will see you there in 2 shakes of a drippy dick.
Ugh.
It's disgusting.
Ah.
Just
Oh, God.